Chromosomes don't necessarily mean you're male or female.
Gender.
With gender
identity. Go ahead. No, so
especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, but wait. To be fair, but to be fair,
The triggery.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
Gotcha, bitch!
Hey cunts, before I start this video, I just want to give a quick thanks to everyone that's helped support my second channel, Roasted. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Anyway, it's time for the cancer. Enjoy.
I want to point out the sexism, though, if we can. Donald Trump just saying that she wants her husband in the White House to keep an eye on him, to me, is a sexist statement.
Why is
and
that
with
sexist?
regard to honor, Tammy, I think it's pretty honorable to have been president of the United States.
Slow down. Whoa, hold on. I'm going to have to ask you to define the term if you're going to use it. How specifically is that sexist? Why is that an attack on all women by saying that?
Well, you know,
oh, it's not.
As a woman.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
No, I didn't
really
say
quick.
that. I did not say that. I did not say that. As a
Confirmed kill.
So how to be a feminist. I had to learn how to be a feminist. So throughout high school and college, I was involved with clubs, organizing against wars in the Middle East, raising awareness about climate change, and demanding gay and lesbian rights. So I was heavily involved in social justice movements.
But can you really call it a culture? For example, we've got some people who speak Spanish in Canada, but we don't live in a Spanish culture. So some rapes happen, but we don't live in a rape culture. We don't live in a culture that supports rapists.
Of course we live in a rape culture. Of course we do. This is a rape culture. What we live in today is a rape culture. And that's what needs to stop.
Then what does the media and our politicians do to help rapists?
More lenient sentences, a slap on the wrist, which happens all the time.
Okay, give me some examples of that.
You know, I'm not here to give you specific examples, Lauren, but I know that you know, and I know from experience from watching you that you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't need to go into details because I don't have any specifics.
Lauren down here from the Herald Sun again. Just another quick one about Angela's question on equality just before. We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport, and we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on?
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dana and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
So if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
So there was this everybody saw the feminism is cancer thing on in the library and got tore down and stuff, right?
Whoever did that deserves a slap on the bottom.
Oh my god.
Horrible behaviour.
Oh my goodness. It's funny, and then I saw the news was about Breitbart, so they had this video and it was would you rather have your child be a feminist or have cancer? And it's whoa.
Yeah, the students at Michigan did that. It was funny.
Yeah. So, and they promoted it. But it's funny. So my freshman year of high school, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had stage 4 cancer from my neck down to my like that's where all the tumors were. But like, I'm also, and I hate to break it to you, I'm a feminist too. So like, would you like tell your what would you tell my parents like when I was diagnosed and like almost about to die? Would you be like, I'm so sorry that she also believes in like equality of the sexes? Like that's such
I would quote my favorite rapper, and I would say, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke.
Oh wait.
You talk about law school, and I think it's interesting to note because I think we're both feminists.
I never considered myself a feminist. All during my professional career, whether it be a lawyer or a judge, I never belonged to a woman's organization. I didn't want to be, I wasn't a woman lawyer. I was a lawyer who happened to be a woman, and I wasn't a woman judge. I was a judge who happened to be a woman. I actually never felt, probably I was too stupid to know that I was held back at any time because of my gender. And I still don't feel as if there was any time in my life when I thought that being a woman held me back. You define yourself. If you let other people define you, that's a mistake.
Because I think we're both feminists.
Studies that are coming out now, Cornell, 2015, women going into STEM subjects have a 2-to-1 advantage over men going for the same jobs. Fewer women do apply, but they all get the jobs.
You've got to have had the degree, you've got to have done STEM, you've got to have done the A-levels, the GCSE, and then the degree.
Yes, and when women choose to do that, they have a 2-to-1 advantage over men in the workplace, and they get paid less than men.
When they choose to do it, yes. But you have to decide, in England, you have to try this at 15 if you're going to do sciences or not. And at 15, women and girls aren't encouraged to do so. So yes, they're more likely to, but the amount of them doing it is vanishing, well not vanishingly rare, quite rare.
Again, you have to explain, if you believe that the number of women in STEM subjects is too low because women are not being encouraged to do science subjects, there aren't enough women in physics and maths and philosophy, you have to explain why women dominate biology, why women dominate medicine.
Because of the girly sciences.
What does that mean?
They're the sciences that are more linked to the caring profession.
I don't think you should make generalizations like that. Some people find that kind of offensive.
So that clearly shows that she doesn't like it.
Well, I never said she was consistent, but she did write an article in the wake of the Charlotte Proudman issue, and there was a lawyer who decided she didn't want to be a lawyer anymore, she wanted to be a Guardian columnist, so she made a name for herself by complaining that a man had said she looked nice. Well, I'm sorry, love. So she went to town, publicly shamed him.
I suspect this is verging the runs about homing and attacks.
I am really interested to hear where you're going there, because I don't think I read it.
In your piece you said that if it was a man, you'd probably have laughed. Do you want me to quote it?
I'm genuinely, yes, I would, because I'm not saying you're wrong, I just don't remember writing it.
I'll find it while you're
After this, one last question, just to clarify.
Yeah, it was, if I knew that a male member of staff was speculating about how I look naked, I would cause the sort of fuss that would make Charlotte Proudman look meek. If I heard a female colleague doing the same thing about Andrew in accounts, I'd probably laugh and I might even join in.
And I can
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg!
Who would be a better, you know what? I would beat the crap out of Kim Kardashian, actually. Any girl who like is famous and idolized because she made a sex video with some guy, and that's like all that she's known for. Oh, I got my fame from sucking dick. I think it's stupid. Sorry, but it's true.
We talk about separate but equal, but having even mentioned the Floyd Mayweather fight, they're walking away with hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. You being at the height of your sport, maybe make what, $1 million at most per fight. Does that anger you, and what can we do to change that?
I don't like to talk about exactly how much money I make, but I'm extremely comfortable and happy.
You are?
Yes.
Okay. So
and if I got to a point where I had almost 50 fights, I would probably be making close to the same amount of money that Floyd does. But at this point, I have 11. So I can't expect it to be exactly equal yet, I don't think.
So many like ridiculous arguments that MMA is somehow anti-woman. And fighting's not a man's thing, it's a human thing. To say that it's anti-woman, I think, is an anti-feminist statement. And the UFC, I mean, I'm the biggest draw in the sport and I'm a woman. How is that anti-woman?
You are the biggest draw, and like 14 seconds, as Charles Barkley was saying, and you're setting a record, breaking your own record.
And you've expressed interest in liking superheroes, and a lot of Hollywood is coming out that the representation is very over-sexualized. What do you think about the portrayal in media
of superheroes? Superhero women?
Yeah.
I mean, the guys have like 16 packs. I mean, it's very much like an over-idealized idea of what, you know, a human being should be. And so, you know, I think that the male superheroes are overly masculinized, and, you know, the women are overly feminized. And, you know, I think that's just part of like the whole superhero universe, really.
Games with playable female characters, the character's butt is brought to the forefront, and that's where the player's focus is directed. In Batman Arkham City, for instance, the player's gaze is drawn to Catwoman's behind.
Hey cunts, hope you liked my 9th Feminist Cringe compilation. If you like this channel, go and check out my other channel, Roasted. Give me a sub and I'll make you feel good. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, cunt fist.